Hello, this is Bobby from Copal TV Repair with a short of instruction on how to test LJ44-00132A and 132B. The two boards are very similar and they're completely equivalent in regards on control. The difference between them is one of them outputs 24 volts for the audio, the other one outputs 12. That's the reason why they are not interchangeable. Also, although one can get the one that outputs 24, decrease it externally and sort of hack a solution, but nevertheless that's not the point. This board was returned to us by a customer and I want to make sure that they see the label on it. We sold it and it was returned as not functional. Customer was correct, and there was a bad solder joint which originally escaped us, for which we apologize. It's one of those things where, you know, if it doesn't show up you may miss it, and it's always a risk in repairs and everything else. So I'm showing that this board is working. I'm also showing how to test the board outside of a TV. It's not a complete test, it's pretty close, but it's not complete. In order to test the board completely, you need to put load on every single voltage output that is out there. 99% of the time, if not more, you will not need to do that. Actually, pretty often you don't need to put load on VS either. It's pretty popular to use light bulbs in series for testing the sustained output voltage. We use this big load here. It's the same thing, basically. It works for us. It's good for short testing. Now, if you turn the board in and there is nothing connected to it, as it is right now, if you turn on power, actually it's turned on now, nothing happens, and there is nothing that the board doesn't respond. There is no LED light or anything. But if you measure ground to the 5 volt standby voltage, which is the second pin on this connector, you will find 5.2 volts. And on the fourth connector on this pin, which is labeled PS on, you also have 5.2 volts. In order to activate the VA tract of the board, which is this transformer, which is used by to produce pretty much all voltages other than the VS, what you need to do on Samsung boards and on this particular boards is to short the PS on pin here to ground, and you can do it manually like that, and you can hear the board clicking, or you can do it as we have made a little gizmo here, that basically little connector that basically just does exactly that. And when you do that, you should be able to measure a bunch of other voltages that appear on here on those testing points. You will find, let me see if you will find VG. Yes, you will find the VG 15 volts. There it is. You should find VA. Let me see where VA is. That should be it. Or very likely, unless that's VS. I don't see it. Maybe that's activated later on when we activate the VA. Some boards activate VA and VS together. Let's see in a second. In order to activate VS is found on this connector. It's the second pin right to left, which makes it, since the original numeration is right to left, it's second left to right, my bad. So that's the 9th pin. VS on needs 5 volts, and here we just have another gizmo that takes 5 volts from the same connector and passes them to the VS. And when we do that, VS comes on, and sorry for the bad thingy, this is VS, our load, which is taken from here. VA should probably also show up. Let me see. Oh no, that's VS, so that's why it wasn't showing up before. That is VS. VA is probably the last one. No, that's VG. Where the heck is VA? VG. VA, there it is. Okay, that's 63 volts. And I'm pretty sure VA should have been up when this was disconnected. So let me pull it out. Yes, VA is connected only when the board is originally activated via PS on. It's still there, 63, and it's still on. That's pretty much all. Proper test of the board, as I said, requires measuring all of the other voltages under load. If the board fails, whenever VS or VA or any other voltage that it monitors fails to stay whatever it has to stay, that diode usually starts blinking and giving an error code, which is given here in a table, which gives you an idea which watchdog kicked in. It doesn't tell you what exactly is wrong. There are a number of reasons why this may be blinking, like the board failed to raise the voltage, or there may be an external load if it's connected to real load. Let's say the audio amplifier has shorted out, which is rare, but it does happen, or a sustain board has shorted out. You may get a VS error here. Doesn't mean necessarily that there is a VS on the board. Anyhow, that is pretty much all. If there's one advice that I can give you if you're testing a board, do not plug the AC voltage into this connector, even though it looks a lot like the VS voltage connector. If you do, bad things happen, very bad. That is all. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this helped, and I apologize for the bad quality. It's late Saturday evening, and I'm very tired. Thank you.